We're back here with Chris Lytle. This is the final week before Matt's fight in New Orleans, and before we get to talking about all that fight and stuff, look at this gem that Mr. Lytle's on now. Now, Mr. Lytle, how did you win this beautiful piece of American machinery?
Well, I like to think that this was all my handiwork. My last fight was in Milwaukee, and I was fighting Dan Hardy, and they asked us, the UFC, said, hey, Milwaukee is the headquarters of Harley Davidson, and they went over, we could do some promotional stuff since they were a sponsor. I said, absolutely. We went over there, and we're sitting on some bikes. I was on one, Dan was on a different one. We're doing some promotional stuff, and I kept telling the Harley executives, I was like, man, this would be great publicity. You should give the two guys in the finals to Harley. It'd be great. We'll drive around, we'll do whatever. We'll always talk about it, how we got our Harleys, and they kind of laughed. I kept being like, nah, I'm serious. You should give these guys a Harley. Then I don't know if that had any effect on it, but then the day of the fight, I got a phone call, and somebody's like, hey, just so you know, the winner of the main event is going to get a Harley. I said, oh, Jesus, I got to win this fight. So I won, and I got this bad boy. So it's my retirement gift for myself, Harley Davidson.
Yeah, that's what a guillotine choke earned you, right?
Yes, sir. You get me that, and Fight of the Night and Stuff of the Night. So it was a good night, and this always helps me remember it. I get to drive it to the training house with Matt on the Near East side of Indianapolis and have some fun. And
they didn't make you give this one back.
Hey, there you go.
So, hey, people have been following along in this journal since we started, and I've got a lot of requests to kind of hear some. They want to hear some fight stories, man. So you had one of the grittiest careers out there. Yeah. What was probably the craziest fight that you would say that you were in?
Okay, not going back to like the 90s, because stuff was crazy back then. You never knew going into a place what the rules were. You could wear gloves or take your head up. I'd say once they got a little bit more established, I remember I was fighting down for Hook and Shoot. Hook and Shoot was a very big organization at the time. And, I was fighting a guy named CJ Fernandez, and I heard of this guy. I was like, I don't know who this guy is. He looks pretty good though. And he wore these Muay Thai shorts. I saw him. He's a big, athletic, strong guy. So I was like, all right, I'm going to fight this guy. Went down there, and he had his kickboxing Muay Thai shorts on. So he's a kickboxer. So the first thing we went out there, I'm kind of measuring. I'm getting ready to throw some punches, and this guy kind of reaches in, grabs my leg, picks me up over his head, and dumps me down. Bam! Landed on my head and my shoulder, and I was couldn't figure out what was going on for a second. And then I look up, and this dude's trying to rain down punch him. It's like, geez. So I grabbed him, and I got him in guard, and I knew my shoulder was kind of hurting, but I couldn't. It was like, oh, this sucks. So the fight goes on, and back then there was no different rounds. It was like one 15-minute round or something. So I get back to my feet, and I remember I'm like, my shoulder hurts. Jesus, like, this sucks. I remember I went to hit him with the right hand. Bam! I drilled him. I was like, and he took it and knocked his head back a little bit, but he kept fighting. I remember thinking, that should have knocked him out. I was really confused. Like, that was a solid punch. Like, what? I said, this guy must be really tough. So a little bit later, we tied up, and I'm on him on a body lock, and he whizzed me, and he went to the ground, and he whizzed me right over, and I went to the bottom. I'm thinking, Jesus, what happened? That doesn't happen. Why can I not hold this guy in position? So the fight goes on. It was like in the 12th minute. I was dead tired. He was dead tired, and eventually, I wasn't able to do much with my arms, so I ended up getting him in a triangle choke, and I submitted him. And so I tried to put my arms up after the fight, and I couldn't put this arm up. It was just going straight out. It was like, I remember I got out of the ring, I won my thing, and I was like, all right, let's. They're like, well, Chris, you ready to go? I was like, go where? They're like, hospital. I said, what for? They said, look at your arm. I looked down, this bone was sticking out like that. I was like, oh, Jesus. I said, well, what happened? They go, you separated your shoulder. I go, well, then like EMTs and paramedics, I was like, well, I need these guys to fix it. I went over and I was like, hey, can you pop this back in? And they were like, it's not dislocated, it's separated. So it's been like that ever since. That bone sticks out really far and really weird looking. But it was just funny. They had like a 12-minute round, and I fought the whole fight with the separated shoulder sticking out. So.
And that all kind of just goes into your collective handsomeness, right? Like, I
like to look at it that way. A lot of people don't, but my rugged good looks, I think. Scars and ears and shoulder bones.
Look at that. Moped. That's East Side, baby.
You know what that means? DUI, baby.
So, you've been retired now for a little bit. Are there any fighters that you kind of like you know you never got a chance to, but man, you just would have loved to dance with just because of their style?
Yeah, there's a couple there. I always wanted to fight, not even for the style, just GSP, just because he was always one of the best. I always wanted to fight him. I thought I would match up with him well. Difficult because after a while you just start trying to really do a lot more controlling. But I thought he was the best. So I always wanted to fight him. But I always know a fight that was going to be very exciting was me and Carlos Condit. We were supposed to fight a couple times, and I had knee surgery once. He had hurt his knee once. Just wasn't meant to be. So I still like the way he fights. I like people who always are gonna come after it, and that's why I remember I went to a fight in Cincinnati, I believe, and I saw Matt Brown fight Pete Sales. And I remember afterwards I called my managers like, I'm gonna fight Matt again because that dude brings it, you know. And I want to fight anybody who aggressively comes and tries to submit you or knock you out. I don't want to fight anybody. I never want to fight people who try to get the decision win. So. Anybody's really going to go for it, so I like Matt Brown, Carlos. I know those guys are usually going to go for it. Robbie Lawler usually, so you know, I want people going to try to finish fights.
And you know, and you beat Matt Brown in an exciting fight, and then Matt Brown shortly after completely turned his career around, and he's been on a tear, man. So what's that? You know, you fought Matt a couple times. So what's it like for you to see a guy kind of bounce back like that, especially as gritty as he is?
I mean, it's awesome. Like I said, I wanted to fight Matt for a reason because I like the way he fights. He's one of my favorite guys to watch right now, so I just want good things for him in his career. And you know, it's different to me. You know, it's harder when you get up at that higher level, climbing that ladder. There's such an emphasis on just winning at all costs, and it's really hard to not have that mentality and still win. Because you know, you're going to go for knockouts and submissions. It makes it easier to hold you down and grind you out. And I don't like when people do that. I don't think it's good for the sport. I appreciate the guys who fight to win.
Now let's talk about outside of fighting. Now you have a recent campaign. You've done a book, and I know that you're doing a lot of things civically here in the community for an anti-bullying movement.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, man, it's been really good. A lot of fun. Just something I really notice a lot now, and I think fighters are probably some of the best people to talk about this because people will listen to us. They see your highlight video, they see you're a fighter, you're a tough guy, but doesn't mean I don't know any of the fighters in UFC who are bullies, I would say, or mean or you know they don't go pick on people and try and get what they want because they're bigger and stronger and tougher. They usually do some positive things in the community, try to help people. So I try and show people that just because you can, you know, do things, it's better to be looked up to than to be feared, I think, in many ways. So I like going out and trying to teach kids these messages, and it's great the response you get because, man, it's just amazing to me how many people can hit me up on Facebook or talking to me about how they have been bullied or their kids have been picked on. And, you know, it's just kids are committing suicide and changing schools and being depressed, and it's just really sad. As a father, I can't think of anything worse in the world than having to have your kid.
And then, you know, you go and you're not just talking about this. You're going out there and you're actually hands-on with this. You know, you've been a big part of this Indianapolis community for a long time, but you're on the grassroots. You're in it. You know, you're on the ground.
Oh man, I'm going to schools all the time. I got a huge thing coming up this Friday with the Indiana Fever WNBA team, and it's their first game. And geez, that's tomorrow? No, that's 2 days. So we'll be there. We get about 2,000 kids showing up, and we'll be talking just a healthy lifestyle choices and body image and anti-bullying. So I'm very happy to be part of that. Just trying to talk to as many kids as we can, and you know, a lot of what I'm talking about isn't even just being nice to people. That's not it, because the reality is that some kids aren't going to be nice. So my whole point is more of like standing up for the kids. That's why I like the UFC aspect and the different fighting aspect is you don't have to be passive about this. You can be aggressively helping somebody out. There's nothing wrong with that.
And my last question here, let's talk about, you know, you ended your career as one of the leading bonus winners, you know, Fight Night performance bonus winners. But you also, it's an interesting fact that you also, throughout your entire career, held a full-time position as a fireman.
Yeah.
You know, things are you know, lately there's been some news, things are changing, the Reebok deal's coming around. Like, as somebody who's been, spent the better part of 2 decades in MMA, and now where you see where it's going, from fighter, when you look at it and you see the rest of the fighters, what are your thoughts on where this thing's heading? Are you optimistic, or do you think some things need to change?
Well, I mean, I'm optimistic. Obviously, some things do need to change, but the thing that people don't realize is, I remember I fought in the 10-year anniversary, and that in 2003. It was a long time ago. I mean, we're 20 years in now. Like, how long did people try to compare us to boxing, this and that? I remember the first time I fought in the UFC in 2000. I think I made $500. So what do people make now? Probably 20 times that starting off. So it is going in the right direction. So you're optimistic about that, but still some ways to go. Just takes time, and I think trying to compare this to boxing is apples and oranges and whatnot. So, but obviously very happy. I do know this. So this was funny. Like you're talking about, when I retired. I retired, I think 2 or 3 days later. I can't remember. Might have been 2 days later. They came out and announced the Fox deal. So I was like, Jesus, hey, Fox was just waiting for Chris to retire. They hated me as soon as he's out, we're in. So it's like, I picked a bad time to retire right when Fox got on board. But time means everything. I don't have it.